Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to black out the inside trim of your headlights. Now don't get me wrong, these JDM headlights are awesome, but I feel like they're going to look a little bit nicer if I tint the inside of them black. As you guys can see, there's a silver chrome finish around the headlight right here, so that's what we're going to be painting black. Now if you guys haven't watched my previous video showing you how to remove the old headlight and installing these, please make sure to pause the video right now and go check that out, because I will not be showing you guys how to remove this headlight at the moment. This is the paint that I'm going to use today. I've used it before on my Nissan Altima and it came out great. So we're going to go ahead and take out the headlight and go inside. So the reason that we're inside the house is because we're going to put these guys in the oven. Now if you guys have a heat gun, you guys can use a heat gun, but I've used the oven before and it turned out pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and use it again. Before we put the headlight in the oven, we want to remove different parts from it. For example, we need to remove the corner light right here. Since we're not going to be putting that in the oven, we're going to remove it. We're also going to need to remove the light bulbs. If you have them in there, remove them. And then finally, we want to remove these metal clips that go around the headlight. So let's go ahead and start taking this apart. We're going to start by removing this screw. Once you remove it, this corner turn signal light will come off. Just like so. Now what we need to do is remove these clips out of here. The easiest way that you can do this is by putting your flathead screwdriver, and then you want to pry this way, not the opposite, because that's where the glass is and you wouldn't want to crack it. So we're gonna just twist the screwdriver like that and it'll pop out. And we want to remove all of them. And there should be 2 more right here in the bottom, or actually 3 more. So do the same thing on this side as well. Now that we removed all of the clips, we're going to seal everything off. So we're going to put our cap on here. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other light. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 180 degrees. While we wait for the oven to get heated up, we're going to go ahead and remove parts of the headlight on this one as well. Now that our oven is at 180 degrees, we're going to go ahead and put our headlight inside. So that our headlight doesn't get burnt from underneath, I'm going to go ahead and put a cutting board. So we're just going to leave it like that and we're going to put our headlight in. So it's been about 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take the headlight out. Now, instead of using metal tools, what you should use is plastic tools, because this is glass and it can chip on you. So we're just trying to get in between the glass right here. And the glue is soft, but I think it might need a little bit more time in there because it's a little bit hard at the moment. So we might have to put it in there a little bit longer because the glue's not soft enough yet. So we're going to have to put it back in there a few more minutes. The headlight has been in the oven for another 5 minutes. We're going to see if we're able to remove the glass. So basically this is what we're doing. We're getting a flathead and we're prying it in between the glass and the plastic, and we're going around the circumference of the headlight nice and slow. And we're pretty much just trying to separate the glass from the glue right here. And then eventually this is going to pop off. You want to take your time here because you guys can crack this lens right here, especially if it's made out of glass. So just work your way around it. We don't want any of this glue on the silver piece right here, so we're going to try to get this out of the way. And this glue is pretty sticky, so it's going to get stuck on you. Alright, there we go. Now whatever you do, do not touch that glass in the inside part of the lens. Even if it's dirty, you're not going to get it as clean as it is right now, so don't even bother with it. I'm going to get my glove free. And we're going to set that off to the side. Now what we want to focus on is this part right here, that silver part. So we need to get that out. And then I suggest for you guys to get some gloves while you do this. You don't want to leave any contaminants in the lens because it will show through when you put everything back together. So to remove this guy out of the way, there is some screws right here, and I'm pretty sure there's some clips that we need to unclip. So let's go ahead and remove those little Phillips screws out of there. I guess, and that thing just came right out. So that's what we're pretty much wanting to do, is get this out of the way. And then what we're gonna do is paint this. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did right now to the other light. So this is the other headlight. We're gonna go ahead and attempt to remove the glass as well. So we're gonna start with our plastic pry tool, and we're gonna try to work our way around it, just so that we have enough space to fit our screwdriver. So we'll start in one side right here, just go around, usually on this side, on the top of the headlight. That's where you can get it in. So once you pry it off a little bit, where you can fit your tool in there, you're gonna get a flathead, and we're gonna gently start prying again. We're gonna do it gently. This cover right here has a plastic gasket material, like right here. I'm gonna remove it because I'm gonna be painting it black, and I don't know how good the paint is gonna respond to this rubber piece right here. I'm assuming it's so that it doesn't make contact with the glass itself. We're gonna go ahead and start painting. Before you paint, you should put your can of paint in some warm water so that when you spray, you can get like an even pattern. I already went ahead and cleaned these guys off, so we're gonna just take one out and we're gonna start on one of them. If you guys are planning on doing this to your car, you're gonna have to leave the headlight out for at least a week before you can put it back together. That's just gonna give it enough time for the paint to fully cure. If you put everything right away back on the car, the paint can release some chemicals and it can fog up your headlight. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna go ahead and start painting. We're gonna paint from the outside and we're gonna go to the front. We're gonna do that so that we can get all the areas right here that is hard to reach from the front. So like the top right here and over here in the corners. We're gonna let about 3 to 5 minutes in between coats so it can dry up, and then we're gonna continue. We're gonna go ahead and paint the front now. Now this paint does have great coverage, as you guys can see. So we're gonna do about 3 coats, and we're gonna keep rotating the bezel around so we can get the areas that we missed. So we need to paint right here. We need to focus more in the middle and do the sides. Now that a few minutes have passed by, we're gonna go ahead and fill the rest of the spots that we didn't get. So right here, underneath here, and we're gonna do the circles right here. We're also gonna do the bottom. As you guys can see, we have pretty good coverage. We need to focus a little bit more on the corners right here, and then we need to spray here in the middle. So we're gonna do that right now. I'm gonna spray down so I can get inside of here. So we're gonna do one more coat on the front so it can be nice and shiny. We're gonna go ahead and let this dry, and we're gonna go ahead and start doing the other one. Alright, so we have the second one finished. Came out pretty good. Now we're gonna let these guys dry for about 7 days, and then we're gonna install them back onto the headlight. It's been about a week now that we have painted the bezel on the headlight. We're gonna go ahead and put everything back together. Now if you guys remembered, I didn't paint this rubber piece on the headlight. The reason is because I don't know how well the paint is gonna react to this rubber. So I'm just gonna leave it in this gray color. We're gonna go ahead and put this back on there though, because I saw that this is gonna make contact with the actual lens, and there's a purpose for this being there. So we're just gonna put it back the way it was. So we're gonna sneak this on here. And then we have some gloves on so we can minimize our fingerprints. And then like I said, we left this dry for about a week, so the paint should be nice and hard by now. So there shouldn't be any chipping of any paint. We're gonna go ahead and put the bezel back on. So just line up the bezel. There's some clips on the top that it lines up with, and then you also want to line up the holes right here so you can screw in the light. We're gonna go ahead and heat up the oven. We put it to 210 degrees. The reason we did that is because we want this glue to be nice and tight around the corners so that it's watertight and no vapor can get in there to fog up the light. It's very important that you guys do this right, because if not, you're gonna have to take it apart and seal it up right. Now, if you guys do want to put extra glue, you guys can, but in my personal experience, I haven't had any issues with putting the original glue back on. Just make sure that it's nice and heated up so that it can make a watertight seal. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the glass on the headlight. Now that we have the lens back on the headlight, we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven for about 10 minutes. Once it has been 10 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and put these clips back on here and then put it back in the oven for another 5 minutes so that the glue can fully get seated around the headlight so it can make a watertight seal. Okay guys, so it's been about 10 minutes that the light has been in the oven. It's pretty hot to the touch and the glue is nice and soft. We're gonna go ahead and try to put these clips on here. So we got one of them in, and we want to go around and put all of them while the glue is still hot. And then once we get all of them on here, we want to put it back in there for about 5 minutes. Now that we got all the clips on here, we're gonna go ahead and put the light back in the oven for another 5 minutes so that the glue can get fully cured around here and it makes a watertight seal. It has been about 5 minutes that the headlight has been in the oven. Now what we're gonna do is let this fully cool off and we're gonna go ahead and put it on the car. Technically, the glue should be nice and seated so there shouldn't be any water going into the headlight. If you guys want, you guys can wait till the next day. But I don't know about you guys, I'm excited to get these on the car, so let's go ahead and go outside and put them on. So this is how my headlight looks right now. And I'm going to show you guys an after shot. Now this is how the headlights look like on the car. I feel like they came out pretty good. And I feel like it looks a little bit better like this and compared to how it was in the beginning. This is pretty much going to conclude the end of the video. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to leave them down below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. If you guys are not subscribed, please consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.